Let's get right into it. I am 36 and a few months. At the moment, I am approximately 17 and a half stone, and I must admit, depending on my motivation and where I'm living or who I'm living with, that does tend to yo-yo a lot. Let's just see what that is in kilos for all the Europeans. 17 in kg. Okay, so that's 107 plus 7, so what's that, 14, 114 kilos, 36, and I'm approximately 5'9", between 5'9" and 5'10". Let's see what that is. Probably should have prepared this. 5'9" in centimeters is 175.3 approximately. It might be a little bit more than that. I'm not sure if I'm 5'9" or 5'10", and I have messy hair. So, where am I going with this? I'll try and keep this as short as possible, so it's not a really long video. Approximately, I'm 36 now. Approximately when I was around, I could check this out, but I'm not inclined to do it right now. It was around, I was around 22, maybe 22 or 23, just stopped smoking. And where I worked in this office block, and we had a gym. We were lucky enough to have our own gym. And one of the people that worked there was a really cool guy named Mark. If I still knew him, I would still be friends with him today because he was a really cool guy. So I walked into the gym. He knew I smoked. He was my trainer. Well, he was like, there was 2 trainers for the whole 3 buildings or 4 buildings, but we were friends anyway. So I walked into the gym one day, and it was approximately a month before half marathon. I think I was about 16 stone 4 pounds, about that. That could be a little bit off. This is just going from memory. So he knew I was a heavy smoker. He knew I was overweight, obviously. I walked in there, and I literally just days after stopping smoking, but I knew I'd done it because I stopped with Alan Carr, and that's completely different from willpower. So I knew I'd kicked it. It was maybe a week or something like that. Anybody interested in stopping smoking, check out Alan Carr. In my opinion, it's the only way to stop smoking for life. So anyway, I walked in there, and I said to him, "Hey Mark, you reckon I've given myself do you reckon I have enough time to train for the Reading Half Marathon?" Bear in mind it was a month away. This was back in the day that you could sign up a month before. Now you have to sign up like 6 months before. You won't even get a place. And he looked at me, and I think he used different words, but to convey the same point, he said, "Craig, don't be so stupid." To which I thought about it for a moment, and being a pig-headed idiot, I was like, right, I'll do it. And I marched back down to my desk, literally within 10 minutes had signed up and paid for the Reading Half Marathon. And everyone thought I was crazy, but that spurred on my love for running. I cycle too, and I swim, but nothing for me beats just the thrill of my own body, my heartbeat, just miles and miles up hills, out in nature, on the roads, just me, my thoughts, my heart rate. It was just happiness for me. So anyway, my goal was, one of my friends set this, I'll talk more about that another time. Anyway, my goal was 2 hours, which was a bit of a stretch, but I really wanted to do it, and I worked hard. I worked like a beast, and it spurred me on that nobody thought I could do it, and that really helped me. And that was over 10 years ago, and I did it in 2 hours and 6 minutes. And then my goal had always been to beat 2 hours, which is, for anyone training for longer than a month, I think it's definitely very achievable. I wouldn't go as far as saying easy, but I would say it's very achievable. So then we go into my running days, where I used to run literally every day and love it. I got into a running club at work. I started off at the back, and one of my happiest memories was, I think it was the 3rd or 4th run club that I was in, and everyone was just thought, oh, he's just a fat guy at the back, just forget about him. and everyone had left me behind yet again, and I was at the bottom of this hill, and this old lady, I don't remember what she looked like, but I remember what she said. She was walking a dog, and she looked at me and smiled and said, "Keep going, you've almost caught them." And I looked up the hill, and I could see them halfway up this hill, and I was actually catching up with them. Now, one of my specialities is running uphill. I like hills. So I was like, okay, I know I can run at, I don't know, just guessing 180 beats per minute up this hill, and I know at the top I'll have more to push. I have a heart rate margin that I can go. So anyway, storming up this hill, 180, 190 beats per minute, caught up with these guys, overtook one of them, got to the top of the hill, and then just went. One of them stayed with me, the other one just dropped him. And then towards the end of the run, my shoelace come undone, so he overtook me, and then I got lost. But anyway, none of that takes away from the fact that I worked hard for something, and I think just being a competitor, I think that was almost as good as doing the Ridden Half Marathon. The fact that people just thought that I was just like, oh, it's just some fat guy, and I worked hard and I got what I wanted, and I freaking loved it. About the same time, I was running with my friends. One of them was more of a weights guy. The other one, he was like a skinny, short, always run. In school, throughout his life, he's always been a runner. And I'd say I had better stamina than him, but he was one hell of a sprinter. So I always kind of compared myself with him, or at least I wanted to, because it made me feel good about myself to say, okay, he's good, but I would say we have different skills, but I'm good too. So I always used him after that point as a bit of a competition marker. Like going up hills, I would be faster than him. Sprinting, he would just drop me like a ton of bricks. He was like a whippet. So anyway, one day that was the day that I did the run club, and then I met up with my friends after. So that was a race, and then I met up with my friends afterwards, something like a 10k, and I hurt my leg quite badly, and I couldn't run for about 3 months. And then after that, everything just fell apart. And I've always tried to get back to that, and it's never quite felt the same. It's never quite been. I've never quite got the same feeling from just looking at my heart rate and feeling my body whilst running. And then I would watch from a distance. I put on weight massively. I got into a relationship for about 6 years. Well, not for 6 years, maybe 4 or 5 years, on and off. And that was, I take the blame for myself. I don't blame anyone else, but that was very bad for me. It definitely changed me as a person. It changed my life, my lifestyle, changed everything. And since then, I've never really got back to where I was before I injured myself. And every time I would talk to people, I would tell people about my life. I would, if it ever came up, it's not like I tell everyone. I would always say, oh yeah, I was as good as this guy, and then I hurt myself, and I've always wanted to go back, but... And I always use all of these excuses as to why. Like I'm telling you, they're just excuses, really. I hurt myself, and I never really got back. Oh, my lifestyle changed, I had a bad relationship, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Who cares? It's me. I'm responsible for my own actions. To make matters worse, my friend he didn't make a big deal of it, but I took it as a big deal because you only get offended by things, like if someone called me a two-headed ape, I'll go, yeah, I'm a little bit hairy, but it doesn't really bother me because I'm not a two-headed ape. But if somebody said that you're a flat, worthless slob or something like that, I might be a little bit, I obviously try not to, depending on who said it, but you only, in my opinion, of course, everything I say is my opinion, but you only really take offence if something matters to you, like something means something to you. So this on Facebook, he posted that he did the Ridden Half Marathon and I remember it to the second, 1 hour, 28 minutes and 56 seconds. That's what he did. And that's a pretty good time. I mean, it's not like elite athlete, but as far as an amateur full-time worker runner goes, I would say that is quite an achievement. And he's got the physique for it. He's short, he's very slim. He does drink, but only a little bit, I suppose. He doesn't smoke. He's just like a good lad, really. So I've always had this 1 hour 28. Oh yeah, I was as good as him. I should be able to do that. I could have done that if I kept training. And it turned into an ambition for me to beat this time. And I don't know if it's for good or bad reasons. Like, I don't know if I think I want to do it for myself, but I don't know if it's the right reasons because somebody else has done it. I would like to think that it's because I've made so many excuses. I just want to prove to myself that I'm not all talk and I could do it. And hopefully that is more outweighed than competing with my friend. Because at the end of the day, you're only ever competing with yourself. And I think deep down, I know that in myself. So I think I'm doing this for the right reasons. Wow, we're up to 11 minutes, if anyone's still watching this. Okay, so, what can I say? I'm in a period of my life that I'm lucky enough to be able to devote a large portion of my passion and my time into fitness now. I'm not in a toxic relationship. I live a pretty good life. I mean, I'm pretty happy. And it's now, what is it? I think it's June. Is it June? I think it's June. It's Saturday. Yes, I know it's Saturday. Right, yeah, we're in June. It's now the 24th of June. And the half marathon, and there still is entries available. I'm going to sign up to it in the next couple of days. Is in March. I think March the 18th. So what do we got? Let's say it's the end of June. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Almost 9 months. What can you do with 9 months apart from grow a baby from nothing? And that's pretty magical, isn't it? At birth. If somebody can grow a baby, then surely I can drop the weight and make my body do. Well, I'm aiming for 1 hour 25, and then I've got a margin of error. And I'm a pretty chubby guy, you know, I'm not slim. So it's going to be a freaking mission. And I don't even know where to start. Well, I know where to start, kind of. And that is a plan, which I'm working on. But in lieu of a plan, what I have right now is measuring everything. I don't like the idea of having my life intertwined so heavily into technology, and typically I live my life with, I wouldn't say off the grid by no means. I've got 2 iPhones, one in each hand. My other phone's got the apps on it. This is an old one that I used to use just so I can show you. What can I say? Yeah, anyway, everything is. Somebody told me something in a job once. I can't remember where it was, but the point stuck with me throughout. Everything needs to be measurable. For it, I don't know if it's about improvement or what, but everything needs to be measurable. For improvements, you need to be able to measure everything. And I used to do everything on Excel spreadsheets. I used to track my runs, my food. I used to get the calories off of a website, and oh my god, it was such a ball ache. But I did it every day, day in, day out. Every calorie expended, every calorie, eaten? Don't know. I used to do it manually. But now, I am lucky enough to have apps. And I don't know these apps well enough to know that they're really good. Apart from Chronometer, I used a website. I used to use it, which is good. So, basically, I'm going to measure everything. And we'll see what happens, because why I'm doing these videos is another video entirely. But hopefully, if I can prove my dedication, we're going to see some kind of transformation. It's pretty exciting. Well, I'm pretty excited. Anyway, let's go through the apps that I'm going to use at the moment. I would say the biggest one, and everyone's going to know this, is Strava. I use this for cycling. I use this for running. I've created a whole new account just for this, because I don't want it contaminated. I've got a couple of other YouTube channels for other things. I've got another Strava account, and this one is just for this. So my name is Craig555. You should be able to find me with that, but that's symbols that mean something to me. Maybe that's another video entirely. And this is starting from today, and from today I've done half a mile. I need to change that into kilometres actually, because I prefer kilometres. I went for a run today. Okay, so the next app, what do you think of my lovely double chin? Next app is, I'm not going to start using this yet. I'm fully aware that functional muscle is, upper body muscle is going to be a big deal, because my legs are actually really strong. They always have been. I think it's more about dropping the weight, building up my stamina, but also largely upper body strength. So I'm just a muscle instead of a fat. I could be proven wrong, but this is what this is all about. The next app I've got is Bodyweight, and I'm not going to use that yet. It's like Freeletics, and I will get into that at some point, but not today. The next app I've got, this has kind of spurred everything, is Apple Health. What I like about this is, I don't know how useful this is going to be, but on the face of it, this basically, it links everything together. All of my other apps, and I picked these apps for that reason, link to this. And this is my form of measurement. I can measure them individually on the apps, but this is what is going to put everything together. And I'm hoping that if I can see progress, it's going to be a motivating factor. If it's measurable, I can see an improvement. I think motivation, dedication is key to any successful endeavour. So I'm hoping that this is going to be what motivates me. And I hope I'm right. Okay, so the next app, which links to Apple Health, is Chronometer, and that's going to track everything I eat and everything I drink. I'm less concerned about what I do on this one. It does track exercise, but I have other things to do that, and the other things do it better, like Strava, for instance. Something which hasn't proved its worth yet, but I am hopeful about, is Gym Hero. And this is what I'm going to be tracking my workouts with, which aren't running or walking or cycling or swimming. This is all about weights, like a gym workout or a home workout. And I've done I did 2 today, but it was actually 1, but it was just the way it worked out. And I might pay for the Pro if it proves itself. Probably will pay for it. I paid for the Pro on Chronometer just because what's a few quid when it comes to health. And then that links again to Apple Health, which is great. So I've got calories in, calories out, statistics. I'm hoping this is what's going to be key. And the last thing, and this is kind of making eating a bit fun. This is a bit silly. I'm not sure if everyone's going to agree with this. It's something called Daily Dozen. There's a guy called Dr. Greger who encourages plant-based diet for health, and he has this book. I think it's a book. I don't know. I've heard people talk about it, but this guy's proven himself many times before. I'm not just taking other people's word from it. He's done other things which I've looked into, and I've gone, this guy knows his cookies. And anyway, it's called Daily Dozen, and it's a really simple app. Doesn't link to anything, but basically it just has a list of foods which you can eat every day, and it will stop you from dying. Simple as that. And it's just like a little check thing, and it kind of makes eating fun, which sounds really pathetic, but it does. I've gone, oh, okay, well that's going to be dinner. I've already had berries, other fruit, cruciferous vegetables, I don't know how to say that. Greens, vegetables, flax, nuts, and I probably just bored everyone, but I'm hoping, and it's worked today, that this has made things kind of fun. So, this is day 1 of a 9-month adventure. I'm not making these videos for any other reason than documenting what I'm doing. Let's see what it develops into. I hope everyone wishes me luck. And without sounding arrogant, but I don't need it. I'm just going to do it because the only factor that's important in this is me. No more excuses. Time to kick some ass. So if you made it this far, thank you very much. Join me on my journey. And I don't care if you're a troll or someone who appreciates the content. Comment away, troll away, it's all good. If anything, the haters will help me just as much as any good comments that I get. So, see you later. Thank you.